When the white men found an African kneeling under a tree in prayer, they said he's worshipping a tree. There's no African religion that teaches Africans to worship their forefathers and their ancestors. Ancestors are a historical connecting cable to the creation that happened before we became.
This is also false. Joshua Mponga makes the inaccurate claim that there is no African religion that teaches Africans to worship their forefathers or their ancestors, but African indigenous religion scholars and theologians would disagree. Kenyan theologian and scholar John Mbiti writes in his famous 1969 book, African Religions and Philosophy, "The spirits of the departed continue to exist and to take an interest in human affairs. They are given offerings, prayers and invocations because they are believed to influence the life of the living." Nigerian theologian Bolaji Idawu states in his 1973 book, African Traditional Religion, saying that Africans do not make a clear distinction between the living and the dead. The ancestors are very much a part of their world and are therefore honored and invoked. Ghanaian religious scholar Kofi Asare Opoku explains in his 1978 book, West African Traditional Religion, "For many African peoples, worship of God is closely tied to the veneration of ancestors who serve as intermediaries between the living and the supreme being." Professor of African Religious Traditions Jacob Olupona details it in a 2014 book, African Religions, a very short introduction. This is what he says: "The worship of ancestors in African religious traditions is a form of acknowledging their continued spiritual presence and their role in guiding the living." So clearly, Joshua Mponga is completely off the mark when he says, quote, "Ancestors are a historical connecting cable." He seems to want to keep the ancestors dead in the ground. Yet the African religion scholars and even practicing worshippers of the African religions will tell you that the ancestors are alive and well. Not historical names that tie someone to the creator or creation, but active and concurrent, working in the present lives of their people, yet from an altogether different realm.